Meet Jason. He's 34. He drives a 2022 BMW. He lives in a two-bedroom apartment in Austin, Texas, a city where rent hasn't stopped climbing since 2019. He has a closet full of Nike and North Face. His Instagram looks like a travel magazine. But here's what Jason's Instagram doesn't show you. His credit card debt, $18,400. His savings account, $214. His BMW financed at 11% interest. And last month, for the first time in his life, Jason couldn't pay his rent on time. Jason isn't broke because he lost his job. He makes $67,000 a year. Jason is broke because he's been living a life he simply cannot afford. And the terrifying part is, he didn't even realize it was happening. Jason is not an exception. Jason is America. According to a 2023 survey by Bankrate, nearly 57% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency expense from their savings. Not 10%, not 20%. 57%. The average American household carries over $10,000 in credit card debt. Consumer debt in the U.S. has crossed $17 trillion. A number so large it barely feels real anymore. We are a nation of people who look wealthy on the outside and are quietly drowning on the inside. So how did we get here? And why don't we see it? It didn't start with bad intentions. It never does. It started with a phone. A new iPhone because your old one was slow. Then a car upgrade because you got a promotion and you deserved it. Then a nicer apartment because your friend moved into one and it just made sense. Each decision on its own felt completely reasonable. Together they built a trap. There's a psychological concept called lifestyle inflation. The tendency to increase your spending every time your income increases. You earn more, so you spend more. And the gap between what you make and what you save, it never closes. But lifestyle inflation alone doesn't explain the full picture. Because a huge part of this crisis is engineered. Social media didn't just change how we communicate. It changed how we measure ourselves. Every day we scroll past vacations we haven't taken, cars we don't drive, kitchens we'll never cook in. And whether we admit it or not, it affects us. Researchers call it social comparison theory. When we constantly compare our lives to others' highlight reels, we feel like we're falling behind even when we're doing fine. And that feeling, it makes us spend. And then there's the financial system itself. Buy now, pay laters. 0% APR for 12 months. No money downs. The entire credit industry is built on one idea: making you feel like you can afford things you actually can't. We were handed the tools to overspend and never taught how dangerous they were. Here's what overspending actually costs. And we're not just talking about money. There's the obvious cost: the debt, the interest payments, the credit score that quietly crumbles, the loan you need to take out just to cover last month's loan. But then there's the cost that doesn't show up on any statement. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Financial Therapy found that financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety and depression in American adults. People with high debt are 3 times more likely to suffer from mental health issues than those who are financially stable. Relationships break under the weight of money problems. The American Psychological Association consistently reports that finances are the #1 source of conflict in marriages. And nearly 40% of divorces cite financial disagreements as a primary factor. And the cruelest part: when you're living beyond your means, you lose the ability to choose. You can't leave the job you hate because you need every paycheck. You can't take time off when you're sick. You can't say no to overtime. You can't help your kids. You can't help yourself. The lifestyle that was supposed to make you feel free has made you a prisoner. And here's the thing no one tells you. The people with the nicest cars, the biggest apartments, the most impressive vacations, many of them are the most financially fragile. One job loss, One medical bill, one unexpected expense, and everything falls apart. So where does this end? Does it end? Yes, but only if you're willing to do something most people are too scared to do. Look at the truth. The first step isn't a budget. It's not a spreadsheet. It's not canceling your Netflix. The first step is honesty. Sit down. Look at what you earn. Look at what you spend. Add it up, all of it. The coffee, the subscriptions, the dinners out. The clothes you bought because they were on sale. Look at that number and ask yourself one question. Am I building a life or am I performing one? Because there is a difference between a good life and an expensive life. The research is clear. Beyond a certain income threshold, more spending does not lead to more happiness. What leads to happiness is security. Freedom. The knowledge that if something goes wrong, you'll be okay. You don't need to live like a monk. You don't need to stop enjoying your life. But you do need to stop letting your spending make decisions for you. Start with 1 month. Track every dollar. Cut the one thing you spend the most on that you'd never miss if it was gone. Build a $1,000 emergency fund before you build anything else. Then pay off your smallest debt. Then the next one. It's not glamorous. It won't make a good Instagram post. But 6 months from now, you'll have something worth more than any car, vacation, or outfit you've ever bought. You'll have options. Jason, the guy we met at the beginning of this documentary, he made a decision. He sold the BMW. He moved to a smaller apartment. He started cooking at home. He felt embarrassed at first. Smaller, less impressive. But for the first time in 5 years, he slept through the night without worrying about money. That's not a small thing. That's everything.